Take a live look at the radar. We are tracking the possibility for some snow. The big question, what's it going to look like when you wake up?
Who do you think can afford this? Because Amazon can afford it, but your citizens can't. I mean, multiple times we've come up here and begged you to protect us.
Controversy surrounding a proposed Amazon center coming to Hobart, Indiana. The concerns from residents.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And we thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. It's set to be built directly across from a residential area.
Yeah, our Brett Bagansky sharing their message to city leaders tonight. So, Brett, you were in that meeting, and apparently things did get heated.
Yeah, they certainly did. We heard a lot of boos, a lot of people upset about what has happened already. So just to give you the scope of everything that's happened so far, this meeting started at 6:30. I came out here about 10 minutes ago. They were still having public comment. The majority of the people speaking against it. The big common theme of why so many people were against this Amazon data center is the fact that they felt like city council had not taken any kind of public comment. They felt like a lot of it was just a lot of schematics, and it was just a formality, but they felt like it was a done deal, and that's why they decided to voice their displeasure over this whole thing. So when this meeting started just after 6:30, we had a lawyer from Amazon talking about where they were at right now. One of the big concerns was what appears to be, and we were at the site earlier, it looked like to be some digging there. Now, they said they were moving some soil around, looking at the condition of it, but many would argue that the construction has already started, but Amazon's lawyer said that wasn't the case. But one member of the Plan Commission asked about a site plan and added, you can't just push soil around without a plan. That certainly got a lot of people applauding in the crowd. But, Amazon's rep said it's going to be 3 to 4 months before they have a site plan. So that's certainly another thing why people are very upset about. Keep in mind, City Council has approved this $11 billion Amazon data center before the city's Plan Commission considered this fill permit, which is why we are here tonight. We still don't know how many buildings are going to be on this site. And we've heard from dozens of speakers. And keep in mind, only 2 spoke in favor tonight of this deal. The rest of them were against this project.
For the amount of land that you guys are going to be working in and moving is incredibly ridiculous and fast to me as someone who is in the construction industry. This stuff does not happen quickly unless, people are being paid to make sure it happens quickly.
Who do you think can afford this? Because Amazon can afford it, but your citizens can't. I mean, multiple times we've come up here and begged you to protect us.
And that's been another point of contention, is the fact that they don't know the entire scope of this project. And earlier tonight, I spoke with Mayor Josh Huddleston about how many specific buildings are going to be at this site at 61st and Colorado. He told me it could be up to 25 buildings, but here's the deal. It's not a done deal yet. There's no guarantee that's going to happen, but he's defended this project. He knows about the upcoming lawsuits right now that are pending right now in the courts, but he's defended this project, talking about how this is good for the entire economy of Hobart, and he talked about the investments from Amazon. They already paid the city $47 million, and depending on the construction phases of everything, they have also agreed to pay in installments $45 million, then $43 million, then $42 million. But just going in here, they have not decided anything at this Plan Commission, but certainly a lot of people are trying to stop this from happening, take a pause, and have a town hall so they can have, as they put it, some meaningful discussion about this $11 billion Amazon data center.
Money, Brett. So I just heard you mention those lawsuits. So tell us what those are centered around. It sounds like people would be concerned about potential noise, the environment. Tell us what you're hearing about those suits.
So this is the kind of stuff that, when we like to say, gets in the weeds, right? So I mentioned that $47 million payment from Amazon to the city of Hobart. Part of why they were able to rezone that whole thing is they rezoned and reclassified it as an economic revitalization area. in their argument in the court, they felt like in order to do that, the land has to be blighted. Well, if you look at that land, there's acres upon acres, hundreds of acres. We're talking about wetlands here. They feel like that doesn't necessarily classify as blighted property since there's nothing being developed at this time. The other thing that they were talking about of why they were suing here is the fact that they were able to approve this plan without a site plan and without doing any kind of environmental study. They feel like it's in a way like putting the cart before the horse. So that's why they feel like this was some sort of done deal. It was done kind of in back rooms, and that's why they feel like they're not being transparent about everything. That's another reason why they were very upset. And as I was saying, they started talking at 6:30. People were still very fired up about it. I was live tweeting the whole thing, and I put some videos up there where people had some not so choice words for the Plan Commission here in Hobart.
Well, Brett, you did mention the mayor, and you mentioned the fact that he's talking about the influx of cash that's coming in courtesy of Amazon. He also knows that, as much of the community does, there's going to be tax breaks for the people who live in Hobart. There's also going to be community development. I know we heard through those sound bites from a couple of people who, at least ostensibly, are standing in opposition to this thing. But have you talked to other community members that are saying, well, wait a minute, maybe this thing is going to be a boon for Hobart?
We would like to get the comment from the people on City Council. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. As far as the commission is concerned, I'd love to have a word with them after this meeting here. But this is just one of those projects where, as you mentioned, Scott, you have promised tax breaks for people, and people are suffering. And even though this has nothing to do with why we're here tonight, many people were talking about their high NIPSCO bills and the fact that they felt as if city government is not in favor of them, that they're more in favor of these billion-dollar corporations saying, hey, where's my tax break? Where's the help with the utilities when you're giving some of these companies big tax breaks and help on building things like data centers here when other people are suffering and others are threatening to move out of Hobart? They said they went here. It was a very family-friendly area, and they feel like if they put this data center in, just because there's a lot of unknowns with what's going to happen with that area at 61st in Colorado, they're just very worried about the place that they ended up moving to.
Yeah. All right, Brett Bagansky, thank you. We know you got to go back in there. Keep us updated on what's happening. We're going to switch gears now. Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, let's talk about the weather, because for those of you who get up earlier in your commute, you may be dealing with a little bit of snow on your drive in. Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls has our first forecast.
Yeah, that's right. We are tracking a little bit more in the way of snow that's going to arrive late tonight, lasting into the early morning hours. And it's not so much the amount of snow that we're concerned about, because a lot of us are looking at an inch or less of accumulation, so not a ton. It's more about the timing. So at this point, we're starting to see this system coming together farther to our north, our northwest, and northern Wisconsin. That's going to be diving to the south, and you can see we could be seeing a heavier burst of snow in the early morning hours of tomorrow. Roughly between 3 a.m. and about 7 a.m. is the window that we're most concerned about for seeing snow rates as high as about 1 inch per hour. The good news is that this is going to be a very fast mover. Then we will cool things down into the weekend. I'll have your full forecast and details on the 40s that are heading our direction soon.
That's a lot of weight to carry at such a young age. But I'm here today. I'm alive and present.
Voice once reduced to a headline, finally being heard in full. For decades, the world knew her only as a shadow, a Jane Doe.
Now, at 41 years old, Chicago native Roshana Landfair is stepping forward, telling her story through her new memoir. For the first time, she's sitting down with a local journalist, lifting the veil and telling the story in her own words. Tia Ewing has more.
When did you realize, after all of the abuse that you endured at the hands of R. Kelly, that you were put on public display by way of a video? When did you realize your face was shown and people around the city of Chicago had seen this tape of you?
I was about 17 years old. I was devastated when I found out. I was very scared. I did not want that person to be me.
Did you ever expect that tape would be seen? I mean, that's child pornography.
Right.
Did you ever expect that tape to be seen in the public? Did you even know he was recording?
I did know he was recording because that was one of, mostly all of his sex acts were recorded. So yes, I did know. I didn't know exactly what was happening because it took a while to know that I was being fed champagne while that action was happening. And it took a really long time for me to view the tape because I never wanted to see what other people saw and the mockery they made of me. So when I finally did, I didn't even know that I was drinking at age 14 when those things were happening.
What made you come out now?
There never would have been a good time. But as an adult woman, as a mother, it was very important to me to not live in shame or hurt and just turn my pain into purpose.
Why are you getting emotional? What are you feeling?
So many people still blame me for what took place. If you look at my 14-year-old picture, think about your daughter, your friend, your goddaughter, your niece, and put yourself in that person's shoes and understand that that's a lot of weight to carry at such a young age. But I'm here today, I'm alive and present.
When you say people blame you, they're blaming you in 2026?
I'm still getting death threats. I'm still being harassed. I'm still the R. Kelly girl who got urinated on. You know, there's no mercy in that, but I'm not trying to convince those people of otherwise. I'm just here to do the healing for people who have gone through similar situations as me. It took a lot of forgiveness of myself, the people around me, and just really confronting who I really was. Once I knew how to take the blame back for myself and understand I was 14 and this person was 18 years older than me, I no longer blamed myself. You know, when you become a mom and a parent, you see things differently, and there's no way that that should have happened to me.
It shouldn't have happened. In your book, Sparkle's name is mentioned maybe over 100 times. What do you make of what she's come out and said as a result of your interview and your book coming out?
I just wanted to be clear that I don't look at my Aunt Sparkle as grooming me for Robert. That is not my interpretation of what happened. She did advise me on certain things, but Robert groomed me, not her. And also, it's very complex, her role in the entire situation. Everybody was focused on what they wanted and what they needed out of the situation. And I do appreciate the fact that she did reach out to authorities and she was on my behalf, but it's just a lot more complex than what was explained.
Understood. What is your family dynamic now with everything that's happened in your family? Because you do outline some of the things that have happened in your family. What is that dynamic like for you?
It's pretty segregated. You know, a lot of my family members are reaching out to me, saying how proud they are of me, how much they love me. We do have strong relationships, and they have apologized. And I've also had to apologize to them because it works both ways. Like, I was not perfect in the situation either. So we're all a work in progress, and I'm praying that this book brings complete healing to my family.
With courage.
It's really an amazing interview, conversation. That's just part of it. Tia Ewing has an entire sit-down with Landfair. You can watch it right now on Fox Local Chicago.
Keep it right here. A full check of your forecast straight ahead. take a live look outside. Ugh. Looks like snow's on the way.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't look so pretty out there. So we're actually we're seeing a little bit of fog out there right now, and of course with temperatures that are below the freezing mark, you know what that's called?
What is that called?
Freezing fog. Pretty simple.
Is it really?
It really is.
Freezing
Okay.
fog.
Freezing
Learn
fog.
something
That's what
new.
it is.
So
Yes.
we're going to be chilling this weekend.
We
literally.
are chilling. Yes. So actually, we do have snow that's going to be here tonight into tomorrow. Once you know it, Friday morning, we're going to be dealing with kind of another quick shot of winter here.
So you'll be driving in snow in the morning and so on.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Scott, where are you heading tomorrow?
Chicago Auto Show, and I'm very excited about it.
He's been talking about it all week.
Yeah,
I
well,
have.
he's been asking for a specific forecast for tomorrow morning as well. And
so when we drive kids, there'll be snow.
yes, we are going to be dealing with snow, but I think the window that we're dealing with here is going to be from like 3 o'clock in the morning to about 7. So really early. It's more so the early morning drivers.
Okay.
Now, something else that's kind of interesting here is the last time that we had temperatures that were at or above the freezing mark in the city of Chicago was January 16th. It's been a minute. It's been a
crazy.
while. So tomorrow we are finally counting on temperatures that are going to be above the freezing mark. I think a lot of us are going to be in the mid to upper 30s. Soak it in, because we have a cold front coming through, and that's actually going to be leading to temps Saturday morning that are dropping down into the single digits to near 10 degrees. So we're back to the really cold stuff going into the weekend. That's really short-lived, though. You know, next week we've been teasing this to what feels like 2 weeks, right?
Right.
A big warming trend is going to be here early next week. We have temperatures that are going up into the 40s, and I think they're actually going to be sticking around. So from the Climate Prediction Center, notice here on this temperature outlook, so the colors that you see over the Chicagoland area, that orange and almost kind of like the pinky shade, that's actually representing 60 to an 80% probability of seeing above average conditions. But whenever you look at these maps from the Climate Prediction Center, it's really important to think about what is average for this time of the year. And average next week is actually right around 34 or 35 degrees. So really what this is telling us is that we are strongly favored to see temps over the mid-30s, and we'll take it. That's great. Satellite and radar, things are quiet for now, but again, we do have snow in the forecast late tonight into early tomorrow morning. A very fast-moving system, though. So from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., we're going to have some snow coming through. An inch or less of accumulation is expected, and actually the total is closer to about an inch. Those are likely going to be closer to the lakefront, so not everywhere. Many of us are just picking up a dusting, and then we're going to have those scattered snow showers throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening with little to no accumulation. Your 7-day forecast tomorrow, 37. We're at 23 degrees, partly cloudy skies on Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be mostly cloudy, 31. Jumping into the 40s early next week. Not any major rain chances, snow chances until Wednesday. And even then, it's just a small chance for scattered rain showers. Now, I do have a gorgeous photo to show you guys.
Let's see it.
This is our weather pick of the night, taken in Franklin Park. This is from Tammy, and she actually sent in several, but just stunning colors there. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Tammy.
That's beautiful. I've seen a lot of really pretty pictures of the sunrise today.
Yeah, well, and because today we had a little bit of cloud cover around, so whenever the sun's coming up and it's hitting the lower base of those clouds, it's just stunning.
Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Emily. Well, a world-renowned ballet competition brings dancers from across Illinois here to Chicago. The life-altering reward for those who finish on top.
Here's what's coming up on Chicago Sports Tonight. We are talking to Seattle Seahawks defensive back Julian Love. He's going to share with us the reward of giving back to LaGrange Park. That's the community he calls home. And Artina Wynn and Cassie Carlson will be joined by Joel Lorenzi from The Athletic to break down the fire sale that has now reshaped the Chicago Bulls. Tina also talking to the little Blackhawks. NHL, if you didn't know it, on a break for the Olympics. That's tonight at 9:30, right after the news on Fox Chicago. All right, new tonight, young dancers from all over the state of Illinois are competing for a shot at the premier training school for ballet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're becoming a part of this esteemed Joffrey School. It means achieving the highest level of excellence. And so they're all coming in, and it's auditions for the Youth American Grand Prix 2026. And I was looking it up. It's like the American Idol of ballet. So everybody competes. It's happening today through Sunday. Hundreds of dancers from across Illinois, ages 9 to 19. Scholarships are given out, rewards. And then a lot of these dancers end up, going to the New York City Ballet and the big companies.
I didn't know anything, Dawn, about dancing other than watching Dirty Dancing with my wife, but I did do a deep dive tonight. And we're going to hear from one of the dancers. He's a retired performer, but now he trains dancers. Let's hear what he has to say.
This is a pipeline for dancers to sort of move from where they are students into maybe different schools and possibly into a professional career as a dancer. There's about 450 alumni that are performing professionally in about 80 different companies, and this is the biggest ballet scholarship program there is, giving away almost $500,000 this year. As it works as a pipeline, these dancers are already in really wonderful schools, but it will give them an opportunity to maybe get into a school or get a scholarship in their training, or be in a school that's affiliated with a professional company, which would then lead into maybe a training as a trainee or into a professional company.
They pick all the video. They looked amazing.
A lot of them start when they're 3. How about that?
Yeah. Finals are in Texas, by the way, but yes, you'll see a lot of dancers spinning around the city of Chicago.
Break a leg. We don't mean that literally. The Brookfield Zoo. We know here in Chicago they take care of their animals.
How they help the lions have a little fun coming up. And Fox 32 wants to highlight famous Chicagoans during Black History Month. Today we're highlighting former First Lady of the U.S., Michelle Obama, born in 1964 here in Chicago. Went to Whitney Young High School. Award-winning author, as you know by now. She's married to, yes, former U.S. President Barack Obama. This, we celebrate Black History Month today. We're going to be doing this every night. One final check of the forecast ahead. Keep it here.
Stream Fox.
Trending now, Lions at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago, getting this extra enrichment. They use these recycled Christmas trees to let Titus and Brutus, of course, those are their names, smell and play with them. And by the way, zookeepers say lions can find their prey from 5 miles away because they have 200 million scent receptors. So they can smell you coming.
Say downwind, Emily.
That's like me smelling pizza earlier from somebody.
Yes, you did.
I was like, somebody in this building has it.
You smelled it all the way down the hall.
I did. Just like a lion. All right, 7-day forecast for you real quickly here. We have snow tonight, an inch or less of accumulation, so a slick morning commute is possible on Friday. And then over the weekend, we have dry skies, but cool temps, and then 40s return next week.
Hey, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us at 9. Chicago Sports Tonight is straight ahead.
See you tomorrow. Good night.